Anthony Slater with a great piece this morning. Slates, what's happening, man? You've been working overtime these days. I see you on the porch, on NBA TV. You're everywhere.
I mean, that's June 30th, July 1st in the NBA.
There it is. Klay Thompson, 3 years, $50 million with the Dallas Mavericks. You mentioned last week when you came in studio that this divorce was probably going to happen. But there's some interesting nuggets in your story about the Phoenix situation back in Brooklyn. What's the biggest nugget that you discovered here during this whole process of finding out that Klay Thompson was going to leave, and when you started writing the story? What's the one nugget that sticks out to you?
Oh, I don't know, because part of it, the story is like it is very layered, and it is like I do think it's a 5-year story, as I put it, right? I think it does go back to the ACL tear, which obviously leads into the Achilles tear, and the differing rehabs he had for that, and what that just did to his mindset, and how he was always kind of chasing his old self that he, pretty tragically, from a sports perspective, never got his 29, 30, 31-year-old seasons really. And obviously that bleeds into the last 2 years, the contract situations, right at the forefront of it. But if you're just asking for a specific nugget, I mean, I put it high up, and I know some people have already talked about it, but, I was told that, he, as this headed towards the end over the last few weeks, and I think some people were wondering, how much of an influence Steph Curry might have had. I was told that Klay basically requested of Steph, don't exert your influence, don't demand that they, necessarily do right by me financially. I want them to want to. And that's paraphrasing, obviously, but that's kind of the message I was sent.
Wow, so Klay basically told Steph, hey, I don't need you to go to bat for me. I want Laker company to want me, to court me, to make me feel like they're going to make me a Warrior forever?
My sense is that by that point it was over anyways, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd been hinting at it for a couple of weeks. You mentioned being in the studio last week. We were basically talking about the end of Klay Thompson. Now, you always wondered, would there be a circle back? Would the market, dictate it to some point? Would they come back together? But the closer you got to June 30th, the lack of communication, the messaging from Klay's side was it's over. And yeah, I mean, that was made very clear early, right? There was no free agency pitch. There was never an offer that the Warriors were able to make to Klay Thompson. It's really been over for a while.